Hey guys, so it's a new year. Last year may have been good for your business, maybe bad, but hopefully it was good. But then it's behind you now and the future beckons. You have big plans for probably and hopefully you have plans for your digital marketing, advertising and communication goals. You want to be able to grow your business, you want to sell more, you want to communicate better, you want to reach more people, you want to create amazing content, but you're probably wondering, where do I begin? So stay tuned and I will give you some tips on how and where you can get started. Step number 1, perform a visual audit of each of your digital platforms. If you were aggressive last year with your communications, then it means that you are probably active on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, your website, email, TripAdvisor, whatever may apply. Do an audit of what content visually did you create when you are running campaigns or when you are communicating with your audiences. And then just look at it in terms of, did the artwork that you are creating, did it serve the purpose? Did it help in building your brand? Are you proud of what you put out there? Because if people find you today, they will go backwards, and you want them obviously to connect with your brand with what they're seeing visually. So critique and confirm whether or not whatever you created probably or properly represented your brand. Step number 2, perform a content audit. What do I mean by this? It means that look at all the materials, all the content that you created and that you shared on your platforms with your followers, with your customers. By content, I mean offers, information, copy, videos, material that you may have shared from third parties. And then ask yourself, was this content that was created, did it serve the purpose in terms of helping you at the time you are running campaigns? And was this content that you were proud of, that you were able to measure and see that it succeeded? Or now that you're looking back, you maybe may have made a mistake. So look at it and say, did you create the correct content at the time if, say, you are doing campaigns to help you achieve the goals with those campaigns? So in short, critique the content that you created in relation to the goals that you are trying to set for each and every one of the campaigns or the programs that you put together last year. Step number 3, develop an annual analytics report. Now, if you haven't had this before, you're going to hear it soon. Data is gold, all right? For all this content that you're putting out there, you want to know who was engaging with this content. So, thankfully, you have these platforms with digital marketing and communications and advertising that will give you information about the people that were engaging with your content. And you want to understand how many people saw your content, how many people engaged with your content, what is the gender of the people that saw your content, the mix between male and female, what are their ages, how many customers or visitors were new versus repeat visitors to your website, for example. Who are these people and how much info do you know about them? What platforms performed better than the others? So take your time and do a really in-depth report. It might take some time, but then understanding exactly who came, who saw, who engaged, who looked at what they did at your content will give you a basis of understanding what you did wrong, what you could have done better as you plan for the new year. Step number 4, perform a usability audit of the relevant digital platforms. Now, again, if you are active, then there's many platforms that you are sharing content. Your website, email, your app. By usability, you want to check when people come to these platforms, are they able to navigate easily enough and find what they're looking for or what you want them to find? Is your website created in such a way or designed in a way that will lead these people down a certain path? Can they easily find a certain type of product? Can they put it in their shopping cart? Can they keep shopping and then come back and easily edit the quantity of the products that they put in your shopping cart? Even your app, when you open the app, is it transacting and doing what it's supposed to do in terms of making it easy for people to engage with your content? Your emails, if you're active on email marketing. We forget that email, sometimes we do newsletters. And a newsletter should also be easy to read, should also be designed in a structured way. So what this means is that you do an audit of the usability from your consumer's point of view. Is it easy for them to engage with your platforms? Is it easy for them to find what they're looking for? Is it easy for you to lead them down a path to what you want them to find? But the main thing is that when they are on your platforms, can they make their way around and find what they're looking for? So just repeat myself, do a thorough and in-depth usability audit of your digital marketing platforms. Step number 5, develop a comprehensive engagement report. Now, when it comes to digital marketing and communication, actually when it comes to marketing, engagement is almost like the Havana when you're talking to customers or your clients or people that you want to engage with. You want people to take your content and do something with it, because that means that it was relevant enough to them for them to want to either comment on it or share it or say something about it, but you want to understand what they did with it. So, for example, you want to ask yourself how many people saw the content, commented on the content, shared the content, liked the content, and then understand who these people were. Were they within your target audience? Are you surprised about who they are? But in understanding the content that people engaged with will give you a leakage, for lack of a better term, of the kind of content that resonated with your target audience. So be very deliberate about it in understanding who engaged with your content and what content made people engage with more. Because not all content was created equal. There's some, maybe it's an offer, maybe it's a video that will get people thinking and talking and sharing than others. So a very in-depth engagement report of your content is invaluable, and that should be, it may have come last, but it's a very important step to take. So there you have it. Unless you're creating or beginning a process for the first time, you can't go forward and improve something without understanding what you did in the past. By doing all these audits and developing all these reports, you'll understand exactly what you did well, what you didn't do so well, what content that we just spoke about was great for your target audience, the people you are talking to, what did not do much, and that allows you to improve on what you did next. And the advantages of being active on the digital front in terms of communication is that these tools nowadays, from social media platforms and your website and your email, they all have these back-end engines that will give you all this data in terms of metrics of how each communication tactic performed. And like I said earlier, which is not, I'm not claiming this as something for me, is data is gold. And the data can allow you to make better decisions in terms of what you want to do next. So again, do the reports, do the audits, and then use that to build as a foundation and as a guide to really help you to improve and to do much better, much more amazing things with the digital marketing and advertising plans and goals going forward in this year.